arrest. And new details this morning about the suspect's plan.
You wouldn't want this to happen to your family and nobody come forward.
Hit and left to die. A grandmother killed steps from a local mall, and now her family wants justice. Why police need your help.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Okay, final few hours of spring, if you will, before summer starts later tonight.
Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Friday. If you guys are up is the question, because I know a lot of kids are in that summer mode. Parents are in that summer mode right now. But if you got us on, man, you are doing the right thing.
My kid's bedtime just keeps getting later and later, and they sleep in. It's a whole thing. But yeah, spring is coming to an end. It's kind of weird to wrap your mind around it, right? Because we've all been in summer mode now for probably half a month at least. But officially, summer starts tonight. Summer solstice at 9:42. Let's take a look at the radar, though, first. I want to get everyone up to date on the fact that we do have a couple showers out there. And we saw this yesterday. There were some downpours around the city of San Antonio during the morning hours. We didn't see much in the afternoon. But we do have a couple of blips on the radar here around Beeville. And we'll watch. Sometimes this time of morning, there's just enough instability to get a few quick downpours to bubble up. It's possible we could see a few here in San Antonio. Okay, forecast for today, 10% chance rain across the board. Warm and humid noontime, 88. 91 at 2 o'clock, 93 is where we end up, which is where we have been. You want to talk about consistency. We've been basically at 93 every afternoon here. And the heat index has been right around 98 or 99. And I see no reason to change that forecast today, even though it is the summer solstice. Yes, at 9:42. We officially enter into summer, and that's not where I wanted to go, but because of the tilt of the Earth, that's why we get our seasons. And of course, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and it's at its greatest today, and then you get the longest and brightest day of the year. And we get 14 hours of daylight, a little over 14 hours, in fact. So if you're heading out the door this morning, get ready for some sun, RJ.
Yes, Justin, how's it going? I was working on a graphic there, and I was like, oh my God, he's about to throw to me. Okay,
yes,
thank you very much for that, Justin. All right, 35 at 37, and traffic looking pretty good there. 281 at Sonterra. No major delays there for our folks on the far north side of town. Good morning to all of our folks over there by Stone Oak as we take a look here at 10 at Colorado. A little bit haziness there in some of our cameras. 35, 37 on the east side. No major delays. And another shot here. 10 at Hildebrand. We did have some overnight construction in that one spot. All right, this is the map that I was going to try and plot out because earlier we had some construction delays over by Lock Hill Selma. Looks like that has since been cleared out, but seen a little bit of delays right there at the 1604-10 interchange. Now, another reminder, we are going to have some overnight construction taking place there this weekend, kind of the normal routine that we are used to. But during the day, we should have 1604 and I-10 should be open and available for all of our drivers over by the Rim and the La Cantera Parkway area. All right, let's take you to the west side now because starting to see some delays out here over on 151. This is going to be our westbound traffic going towards Wiseman, Westover Hills, headed towards 1604. So earlier, Alex had reported that there were some construction delays right here. So we'll continue to monitor that situation. Unfortunately, we don't have any cameras on 151. So we really can't see exactly what we're looking at in terms of, we only have to go off of our map. So 35 starting to clear out here by Judson Road. Good news, we mentioned earlier during Good Morning San Antonio that usually they've been doing a good job of clearing this out by the time we get to our 6 o'clock hour. Everything across the city is looking pretty good right now as we took a look here at our inbound drive times. 25 minutes coming in from I-10. Bernie, good morning to all of our folks there. 27 minutes coming in from New Braunfels, not bad. 20 minutes right now on the far west side on 90 coming in from Castroville. Good morning to all of our folks out there, Medina Valley ISD. Let's go to Alex Gomez right now for a check on the roads and drive cam. What's up, Alex?
RJ, good morning and happy Friday. I just made it to the northeast side. I'm on I-35 southbound near Judson Road, and at first glance, it doesn't look like we have any construction delays happening out here on the northeast side, which is great news. Sorry. Quite the treat, because this past week, it's been pretty slow.
All right, thank you very much. They clearly saw Alex coming their direction and decided we better pick this up. All right, Alex Gomez in drive cam first. We're going to check back in with him in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
All right, 6:04 now. We are still working to learn more about the person who police say made threats toward the Jewish community here in San Antonio.
So this morning, we know that that person was arrested out of the state by the FBI, and they were suspected of planning a mass shooting. Law enforcement believes that the immediate threat, though, is over. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus saying, quote, the arrest was based on statements the individual made while being questioned by authorities, end quote.
Now, before the arrest was made, FBI agents told Temple Bethel Executive Director Eric Reinecker that someone had made a mass shooting threat against San Antonio's Barshop Jewish Community Center, but also the Jewish community entirely. The JCC immediately sent an email to parents and shut its doors for the day. Both the JCC and Temple Bethel will be open today.
Gathering as a community is the core function of who we are, and we're not going to let things like today stop us.
So in a statement, Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones said in part, quote, we will continue to monitor this situation closely. Anti-Semitism has no place in San Antonio, and we'll take all the necessary steps to ensure the safety and security of our Jewish neighbors, end quote.
Hit and killed while crossing a street. That's what happened to 62-year-old Irma De Leon on Fredericksburg Road last week. Balcones Heights police tell us that she was near the Wonderland of the Americas Mall when somebody crashed into her and then sped off. A detective with the Balcones Heights Police Department sent us these two photos showing the suspect vehicle. Police have determined the silver sedan is an Acura TLX between the years of 2015 and 2017. Her family is fighting for answers as they grieve the loss of their own.
If you saw something and you know the vehicle, pick up the phone and call, please. That's all I'm asking.
So again, here are those photos. We are told that it does not look like this car has a front license plate, and police believe there is damage to the right front of the car.
She loved animals. She loved animals, you know. But just, she's a former nurse. She was a nurse for many, many years. And just a founding mother of the neighborhood. I mean, she was just over here the other day, bless her heart.
Some sweet words from a neighbor right there. This morning, we still don't know what sparked a fire that killed a 78-year-old woman in her home, but we first told you about this yesterday on GMSA. Now neighbors reflecting on Ellen Musgraves, who sadly lost her life. They told us that she had a big heart. And this all happened on South Hill Road near Babcock and Hillcrest community on the northwest side. Crews say that it took about 20 minutes to knock the flames and get inside the home. That's when they found Musgrave after she had passed. We also know that one of her pets died in the fire. Two others are in ACS care right now.
All right, now to another inmate threat at the Bexar County Jail. 48-year-old Robert Parker died at a hospital. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says the cause and manner of Parker's death are still being investigated. Records show Parker was jailed on charges of assaulting a public servant and retaliating. According to KSAT's count, Parker is now the 5th Bexar County Jail inmate that has died since January 1st. 1 week after that major flooding event here locally, still a lot of questions remain, like what exactly caused that wall of water that witnesses have described, especially at Beidle Creek, as well as other parts of the city. So we went back to Beidle Creek and found there is still so much more that needs to be done. In the aftermath, we found downed trees and crushed cars. There are also piles of concrete and rebar that remain stacked high in the drainage ditch along Vicar Drive near Perrin Beidle and Austin Highway. People who are in that area often say they are still in shock at how much flood damaged everything.
It's taken out the bridge, but not the retainer wall on the side of the drainage. Yeah. It didn't wash out all that before.
I mean, I've been riding out here for about 10 years now, and I mean, some of it is just unrecognizable.
Because we were just trying to figure out how the heck it happened.
So as for what's next, city officials say they're now reviewing the flooding events along Beidle Creek, as well as Leon Creek on the other side of town. That review will include an independent engineering analysis. This morning, high-stakes diplomacy is underway in Geneva. The European leaders are meeting with Iran in what's being called a last-ditch effort to avoid all-out war. Meanwhile, President Trump is just days away from deciding whether to launch a strike inside Iran. Some sources say he's already approved attack plans. This comes as tensions with Israel explode. There were more missiles fired overnight and growing fears of a larger conflict. A new poll shows most Americans want the U.S. to stay out of it.
Overnight, we got more than 500,000 power outages after severe storms slammed the East Coast. In New York Central Park, a 15-year-old was also struck by lightning. Throughout the Northeast, high winds toppling trees onto cars and homes. At the airports, hundreds of flights canceled. It's been a violent week of weather as tornadoes touched down from Minnesota to Colorado. And as far more serious scenes south of the border as Hurricane Eric slammed into Mexico's Pacific coast as a Category 3 storm with up to 16 inches of rain.
The NBA Finals are headed to a Game 7. It was a big night for Indiana last night as the Pacers powered past the Thunder 108-91. Tyrese Halliburton played through a strained calf and still put up 14. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led Oklahoma City with 21 points, but it was not enough. And now it will all come down to Sunday night at Oklahoma City, the first Finals Game 7 since 2016. And you can watch coverage of the NBA Finals starting at 6:30, of course, right here on KSAT 12.
RJ's got the Pacers. I'm taking OKC in that one. Ooh. Got to.
Ooh. Oh, whoa.
Oh, man. No. All right. The Saharan dust. It's back. We're going to see a little bit of it this week, and I'll show you when and where coming up.
The woman who faked her own kidnapping now claims that she's telling the real story. Sherry Papini breaks her silence and faces tough questions in a raw new interview.
And dozens of mascots from around the country are descending on San Antonio for an exclusive mascot training camp. How they'll learn the secrets from the man behind the Spurs Coyote, the Jalapeno, and Henry, the Puffy Taco, coming up.
It's an entrepreneur success story. Next, we'll introduce you to the couple who took their salsa from the Pearl Brewery to H-E-B shelves.
Hi, welcome back at 6:14 now. So on to a story of genuine entrepreneurship. A local couple credits the San Antonio community for helping their brand grow from selling their products at a local farmer's market to now getting it on H-E-B and Walmart shelves.
Okay, we're talking about salsa. Ernie, do you have a favorite salsa, by the way?
All of them.
All of the above. Okay, Sarah Costa met with Marcia and Luis Morales, who own Humble House Foods, and they just took their salsa national, and they tell our very own Sarah that they hope to inspire other people trying to take their side hustle to full-time status.
You should have seen where we started, yeah.
Luis Morales got his start making cheese in his parents' kitchen. While he was a chef at a restaurant in the Pearl, his wife Marcia was a hostess. In 2008, he took a risk to sell his cheese at the Pearl Farmers Market full-time.
And so we started the business with my last paycheck from El Sonio.
And my college savings.
Yeah.
From selling homemade cheese at the Pearl Farmers Market to pivoting and selling pesto and hummus, to live food demonstrations, then a cafe during the farmers market, to a restaurant inside the Pearl's food court for 30 days before COVID shut it down, to landing their salsa on H-E-B shelves during its open call Quest for Texas Best, which led them here. 11 employees with their own manufacturing facility in San Antonio for Humble House Foods, leaning on San Antonio to learn about the manufacturing business.
San Antonio is a really good hub for food manufacturing. Most people don't know that, but I mean, Pace was started here.
Of course, keeping everything local.
You guys are using local products.
Yes, yeah, we have a farm in Poteet. He's our biggest farmer. We buy from multiple farmers.
And this year, taking their salsa to Walmart shelves.
We're doing anywhere from 10 to 30,000 bottles a week.
In 285 H-E-B stores and over 400 Walmart stores, they say it's surreal. Both not having college degrees, both going to SAC for music.
I don't have an accounting degree. I happen to be good at math, but I learned everything I have from YouTube videos.
They credit their success to the San Antonio community for supporting them all those years at the Pearl Farmers Market.
Really shook hands and talked to every kind of person from every country, every nationality, every language. We got to know people in general.
Both Luis and Marcia grew up in San Antonio as military brats, and they say that military connection has been another reason for their success.
Because of the military, you or someone knows someone else that's been wherever you want to go.
There's that interconnected network that kind of spans the globe.
The Moraleses hope they can inspire other locals who are working in the hospitality industry that have that side hustle. And they say San Antonio is a place where you can thrive.
San Antonio is special. And I think that's because of the military. Because we have so many people here. And one thing we all agree on is we love food and we love to party.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
See, when I see testimonies like that, I always think to myself, I'm going to start something. I just need to, because when you jump on that leap of faith and it succeeds, it's inspiring to see.
What would it be?
Look at them. I'm thinking fragrance.
Oh.
Something cute. You know what? Actually, I was thinking about some type of perfume or cologne for animals. Like, you know.
Oh, that's
can
not
you
bad.
Let me stop talking for somebody to take my idea.
Exactly.
It's been done like 1,000 times, but I want to create my own little version. Yeah, I'm gonna name it Muscles and Bow.
I like it.
I'd buy that.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
walk around smelling like a good smelling dog.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
Let's drive around now.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, good stuff there, Jeff.
There you go.
Yeah, congrats to that couple leveling up the salsa. That's, you know what, that's tough to do here in South Texas because we do appreciate ourselves some good salsa out there. All right, let's take a look here at our TransGuide traffic cameras, and things have been pretty slow going across the city right now. So that's pretty good news. We're about to step outside at 35 Topper Wine. We saw some construction here earlier. That has since been cleared out. I-10 at West Avenue on the near northwest side of town. No major issues out there for our folks. Okay, so 151 though, a little bit of problematic for some of our drivers here. We saw earlier we had some overnight construction that is still in place as we get closer to our 6:30 half hour, and it's going to be on the westbound lanes, basically past Wiseman over towards Westover Hills. Now, this is on 1604 at Valley Meadow. Earlier, I did see a vehicle that looked like it was stalled on the side of the road there. So a couple different things going on. 1604 past Wiseman on this side, and then over here by the SeaWorld area, 151 headed towards Westover Hills. So just keep that in mind. Starting to see some backups out there due to this overnight construction. 35 here in the downtown area at Alamo Street, still dealing with some construction there in the lower levels of 35. Now, if you need an exit, Santa Rosa is going to be the best possible option from you. Coming from 10, exit Santa Rosa, and you can stay on the frontage road there. All right, let's go to Justin Horn. I know Justin, he appreciates a good salsa any day of the week.
100%. Actually, I make my own. Can't say it's as good as those folks, but I do love salsa. I always say it's my favorite vegetable. It is literally one of my favorite foods. I like to think of myself as like a salsa snob. Maybe. I don't know if I'm that good. But that salsa looked delicious. Anyway, all right, summer solstice. It is upon us, 9:42 this evening. And what happens? The reason we have seasons, by the way, is because of the tilt of the Earth. It's tilted at 23.5 degrees. So in this case, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. So we have our longest and brightest day, 14 hours of daylight. And yes, it is the summer solstice. So officially, we go into summer later this evening. Outside right now, we've got cloudy skies here in San Antonio, 78 degrees, 77 in New Braunfels, 78 Converse, and a good south-southeasterly flow here, which continues to bring in enough moisture to get a few light showers going. We've got one near Howardsville. But you see geographically, they're very small. We may see a few of these work up towards San Antonio. We did yesterday morning. Just know it's not going to be... it's not going to fill up the rain gauge. It's not going to be heavy. Well, I say that. Yesterday morning's downpours were actually heavy. It's just that they're very brief. You're just not going to see a lot of rain out of it. 88 degrees midday, warm and humid. Heat index this afternoon will be 98 plus. Water vapor imagery shows our heat high. We can kind of pick it out here just based on the rotation of the clouds is moving over Texas. You'll notice too, we've got some clouds coming up from the south. That's actually some of the moisture from Eric. I don't know if it'll make it all the way up to San Antonio, but it is affecting parts of southeast Texas this morning. So interesting to see some of that Pacific moisture is at least trying to move into Texas. Beach forecast, if you're heading to Port A or Rockport, forecast will call for 90s this weekend, a few isolated showers and storms, water temperatures in the mid-80s, rip current. Risk is moderate, and I did show you there right before weather, we do have a little bit of Saharan dust that'll be moving in too this weekend, but nothing of great significance. The concentrations are going to be fairly low. All right, low to mid 90s this weekend into next week, and some slightly better rain chances next week as well. Summer solstice is the topic of our question this morning. On the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, where is the sun directly overhead at solar noon or noon? Is it the equator, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer, or the Arctic Circle? There are votes for all of them now. You can weigh in. Go to ksat.com/polls, scan the QR code, and we'll bring you that answer here in half an hour.
All right, Justin.
Very good, sir. Thank you. 622 now, 78 degrees outside.
So she lied to the world, faked a kidnapping, and then went to prison. Now Sherry Papini breaks her silence. Why she says this version is the truth.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Sherry Papini speaking to ABC News for the first time.
You've told massive lie after lie after lie for years. So why should people believe this version of your story?
Papini, who spent 10 months in prison for making false statements to federal investigators, now sharing what she says is her story in her self-published book.
Why write the book now?
There are several versions of what happened out there. This is mine. This is my words. It's backed by loads and loads of evidence, and my heart is in it. It's vulnerable. It's everything from start to finish, and it hasn't even concluded.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of our interview with Sherry Papini. With our GMA First Look, I'm Juju Chang, ABC News, New York.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning and happy longest day of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Friday, y'all.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And it's Friday.
Yes, I know, man. We're at the end of the week, man. My little bubble is just, it's like, you know how the deflation happens with the balloon? I'm on that little baby one, just sitting on the...
Okay.
You have a bubble.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost there, though. We're almost making it, guys. Again, thanks so much for waking up.
A little bit more.
Yes, we're going to make it. We are. Okay, let's start with the radar real quick. We'll talk a little bit about the fact that it is, yes, the summer solstice as well. But the Authority radar showing we do have a few very light, sprinkly showers out there up around Comfort. We've seen a little bit here around San Antonio, but not much. Yesterday we saw some showers. I would imagine we'll see a few more again this morning. They just won't be, they'll be very short-lived. That's kind of the main takeaway here. We'll put it in a 10% chance for rain all day long to account for that. Just know that it's not going to be much, if anything at all. 93 degrees is our forecast high. Heat index will be 98 plus. Partly cloudy skies, humid conditions all day long. All right, we showed you the drought monitor yesterday, and we discussed a little bit about the fact that the improvement was minimal. We were a little disappointed in that, but we did our research, did some work. Meteorologist Shelby Ebertowski put out some emails, and we talked to the folks who created the drought monitor, and we asked them why, and they gave us some reasons as to why it hasn't improved that much. We're going to share some of those with you. We'll look at the numbers too. That's coming up here in just a couple of minutes, but we've got to check out on the roads now. RJ, what do you got, my friend?
All right, Justin, things are looking good on your Friday morning as we take a look at your traffic authority and a couple of our TransGuide traffic cameras here east side of town. Good morning to all our folks there, Tenna Hildebrand. Good morning to you guys there in the near northwest side. Shout out to all my folks there by Woodlawn Lake. Let's take a look here at the southeast side. That's going to be 181 and 37. And then another shot here at the northeast side. No major delays there after some overnight construction. So again, good news there. So we're seeing some activity right here. This is going to be 1604 southbound right here before we get to Wiseman Boulevard. Valley Meadow Road, we had reports of a stalled vehicle. I think it is that vehicle that's right there kind of flashing its lights there off to the distance. So again, something that we've been kind of keeping an eye on, but no major delays out here for our folks, including our westbound traffic on 151. It looks like that has long since been cleared out there after some overnight construction delays right there for our drivers near SeaWorld. 35 right here, lower levels at Alamo Street. And of course, the lower level is closed. The upper level still moving along there pretty well. And traffic's looking pretty good around the downtown area. No major delays out there for our folks. That just popped up right now, so we'll continue to monitor that situation. Everything else across the city is looking good on this Friday morning. Our inbound drive times, no major delays, 31 minutes if you're coming up 181. Saw that camera there a little while ago. 17 minutes coming in from 35 right there for all of our folks on the far southwest side, Lytle area, and 23 minutes coming in from the Pleasanton area. So again, no major delays out there. Good news if you're about to step outside. Speaking of being outside, let's go to Alex Gomez right now for a look at Drive Cam. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Right now I am in the downtown area. This is going to be 35 southbound. This is near that construction near South Alamo. Just a reminder that the construction has switched sides. The lower level is now open and the upper level right there to your right is now closed for all those constructions. So yeah, South Alamo exit still going to be open, but the right lanes are going to be blocked. So again, the lower level where I'm at right now is back open, RJ.
Okay, thank you for that update, Alex. I know a lot of folks over South Alamo, Southtown have been a little concerned about some of those exits closing there, but Alex clearing some things up for us. Ernie, back to you.
All right, RJ, thank you, sir. SeaWorld San Antonio says one of its beloved animals, Kamea the whale, has sadly passed away. At just 8 years old, she was the youngest in her pod. SeaWorld says she brought joy to millions of people. In a post on social media, SeaWorld said in part, quote, despite the tireless efforts of animal care and veterinary teams, Kamea succumbed to an illness, surrounded by those who loved and cared for her deeply, end quote.
This morning, we learned the name of the teenager killed in a car crash. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says 15-year-old Jordan Garcia died of head injuries. San Antonio police said that the crash happened on Huebner Road Sunday after people in a car were taunting officers and pointing guns at them. Police began pursuing the car leading up to the crash. Garcia died at the scene. At least 3 others were taken to the hospital in critical condition.
At 6:34 now, construction of South Bexar County's second hospital is moving along. The last beam for the University Health Palo Alto Hospital was hoisted into place this week.
So the beam was covered with signatures all the way up to the highest floor. Just 17 months ago, crews broke ground on the new facility. Both Bexar County and the hospital officials say that the hospital is a team effort, and the mission is to provide easier access to health care while also boosting the Southside economy.
Our hope is that people will no longer skip preventative measures, preventive appointments, colonoscopies, because it's on the other part of town, because they don't have transportation.
This hospital will bring healthcare closer to home, and for us, this is also going to become an economic generator, because starting off, this will have about 450 employees who are going to be able to live on the South Side, work on the South Side, but take care of Southsiders.
Our Know My Neighborhood series featured the South San area, highlighting the lack of access to health care there. Construction of University Health Palo Alto is expected to be complete in 2027.
There's no need to come into private property and to disrupt and destroy all of this private property. So it's basically an act of bullying.
A developer behind a project that's calling into question the safety of their drinking water appears to be destroying private property without permission. Now, that is according to the neighbors in the far northwest Bexar County near Helotes, where the developer is the company behind the controversial Guajolote Ranch subdivision. This week, we got a subdivision's wall that goes along Scenic Loop was destroyed and private property was dug into to lay down water pipes, all done allegedly without permission. Reached out to the Florida-based Leonard Corps, asking why this was being done, and still have not heard back. But the next step for the residents out there fighting this is to get a judge to sign off on a temporary restraining order.
This morning, the Texas Attorney General is now asking for a new execution date for a man convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter. 58-year-old Robert Roberson was found guilty of shaking the child to death back in 2022. Roberson was spared execution last October after some Texas lawmakers advocated for a delay. But now AG Ken Paxton has requested a new execution date, arguing the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals has denied other appeals for Roberson.
A recall alert this morning. The makers of Little Remedies honey cough syrup voluntarily recalling the product because of bacteria contamination. The product maker MedTech says that the bacteria can lead to nausea, vomiting, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. The recall affects all 4-ounce bottles of this cough syrup packaged in a carton that has not reached its expiration date. So far, there have been no serious reports of the sickness, but if you do have this cough syrup, you should not use it at all.
Outside with Live Cam, it's cloudy, it's humid this morning. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. We're going to take a look at some of the numbers behind our drought monitor and why we didn't see a lot of improvement with the drought monitor yesterday. That's coming up.
Get ready, San Antonio. This weekend, we got dozens of mascots from across the country headed here for the annual mascot training camp. Up next, we got the man behind the Spurs Coyote.
And summer fun on 2 wheels, but it comes with a danger. Why San Antonio police are sounding the alarm and how a citywide bike rodeo is pedaling towards safer streets.
It's fun. It makes me get tired, and I like sleeping.
I was little and I need train wheels, but I don't need train wheels right now.
Hey there, summer is here, so hopefully our kids are spending a lot of time outdoors, but there is a scary statistic. More bicycle-related deaths happen in the summer months between June and October. That is why the San Antonio Police Department has been working year-round to make sure that our kids stay safe. If your elementary-age kids were part of the school bike rodeo this year, the winners are invited to the citywide competition that's coming this Saturday. And I went out looking for young riders to see if they're practicing safety.
So, number one rule about riding a bike?
Don't fall off.
What's the number two rule?
Keep your balance.
Very good. What about your helmet? Is that part of the rules?
No.
And tell me about the safety things. Do you wear a helmet? Do you look both ways? What do you do when you're on a bicycle?
Look both ways.
We talked with San Antonio Police school resource officers who have been a part of bike rodeos throughout the school year. They even showed us some of the skills the kids who compete will be doing, like riding in a straight line and completing a circle. Officers stressed the importance of wearing a helmet, checking bike pressure, and wearing bright clothing.
Ride in areas that are designated throughout the city of San Antonio, and even in some neighborhoods, you have the bike lanes. Stay out of the middle of the road.
Also avoid riding at night, and if you have to, make sure that you have a flashlight or a light on your bike, and make sure that you also follow the rules of the road at all times.
And they really want to encourage kids to learn to ride bikes because, of course, it promotes good health. The citywide bike rodeo is open to the public to watch, but only the kids who already competed at their schools and won are invited to participate. You can head to KSAT.com for the hours and locations. Ernie?
Thank you. Well, dozens of characters from around the country are headed to San Antonio this weekend for the annual mascot training camp. The day-long camp will feature hands-on sessions in costume care and maintenance, fan interaction techniques, crowd engagement, and more. It's being put on by Jeremy Bartlett, a veteran mascot trainer who has also performed locally as the Spurs Coyote, Jalapeno, and Henry the Puffy Taco, among others. The camp is expected to bring together performers of all ages and experience levels to sharpen their skills and boost their confidence.
At the end of the day, these performers are athletes, and so we train them how to take care of their body and how to prepare for the game, just like any athlete would, as well as there is a method to the madness, how to connect with people, how to activate fans, as well as how to take care of the costume, because these performers sweat a lot, and those costumes can get really smelly, so we teach them how they can clean and maintain their costume for years to come.
So the mascot training camp is happening tomorrow from 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the Live Oak Conference Center on Pat Booker Road. You can still sign up. We have a link to register and learn more at KSAT.com. All right, from mascots to cheerleaders, the iconic Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, to be specific.
They're getting a pay raise, and it's a big one. And they say that it's been a long time coming.
This morning, a push for higher wages paying off. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders revealing they're getting a 400% pay raise this season.
Every year, the talent just gets better and better and better.
Announcing the news during the second season of the Netflix series America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. The cheerleaders have, for years, documented their struggle to make ends meet.
I have 3 jobs, 4 if you count TCC.
Citing recent figures that claimed water boys in the NFL making around $53,000 a year, mascots averaging $25,000, while the cheerleaders made about $22,000, despite sometimes grueling hours, saying they worked 21 consecutive days preparing for a Christmas game.
They all do crazy things in order to be here.
We've always been told there's 100 more girls who would love to do this job.
This while Forbes ranks the Cowboys as the most valuable pro sports franchise in the world, worth more than $10 billion in the most recent rankings. The pay issue coming into the spotlight in 2019 when the team settled a lawsuit with the former cheerleader, bumping their pay from $200 to $400 per game. This new raise is 4 times that amount. One member of the team calls it life-changing. The Cowboys not commenting on what led to the decision.
Everyone's going to say, well, they're just cheerleaders. Well, we're really good cheerleaders.
In her 5th season on the team, one cheerleader said she made $15 an hour. With the new raise, some members could make $75. As for those water boys, we're told most are more qualified than you might think because they actually help the training staff. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
There you go. That's a lot of money. I'm happy. This is something that, again, you see how hard they work and the sweat that goes into that. And I haven't seen any of the documentaries, but I know that it takes a lot to get on the team and stay.
My wife was binging the latest season yesterday, as a matter of fact, and so I kind of just walked through the room. And I mean, we know, it's a year-round thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said one of them for the Christmas Day game or Christmas game last year, they worked like 21 days in a row to lead up to that.
So they deserve
They perform on Thanksgiving every year, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So
they deserve it big time. All right. We'll go to RJ, see what our roadways are looking like.
All right, guys. Yes, the great Tex Schramm actually started the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders back in 1967. Pretty incredible stuff. Of course, America's sweetheart for America's team, an iconic part of your Dallas Cowboys. Super Bowl.
Yeah, this year?
Whoa.
This year?
Okay, let's not get crazy.
Wait a minute.
Okay, but you know what, Ernie? I will say I think the Cowboys are going to be in playoff contention. So I think it's a tough division with Washington and Philadelphia, but I think it's going to be a good season for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, lock it in.
Dak Prescott, there we go. Okay, 35 top rewind traffic looking pretty good, and no major accidents across the city right now. So let's show you 1604 because we have cleared out that activity right here. This was 1604 over by Wiseman, the southbound lanes of 1604 right there at Valley Meadow Road, and it looks like traffic is moving along for the most part. We've also cleared out that overnight construction there on 151, the westbound lanes. So no major delays out there as well. 35 at Alamo Street, as Alex mentioned earlier. Lower level 35 still closed. We're expected to get within the next couple of weeks an update on some of this summer construction in the downtown area, especially as we kind of get closer to, yes, the start of school. Don't want to scare the kids already, but yes, they're supposed to give us a little bit more updates as we get through the rest of this summer. But right now, 35, the lower level right there at Alamo Street, still closed due to that bridge joint work. Everything else across the city is looking pretty good. As we take a look at our gas prices right now, $2.80 for a gallon of regular unleaded, according to AAA Texas. That is down 6 cents from last week. Across the state, we're looking at $2.84 for regular gas, and then $3.21 across the country. So if you're going to be headed out to any parts, maybe taking a little road trip this weekend, that's a quick check of some of the gas prices here locally and across the state. Let's go to Alex right now in Drive Cam for the very latest on the roads. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So right now I am actually over here on the west side. This is my second round being over here, and 151 westbound near Wiseman has cleared. So all lanes are back open and the west side still looking good. And don't forget, RJ, this year, Cowboys, this is going to be our year.
Okay, a lot of optimism here. There you go. Okay, we'll see how that turns out for your Dallas Cowboys. Okay, Justin, you know what, Justin? I was thinking of like these local lakes, and Calaveras Lake, obviously. Yeah. I was like, how did it get its name? And I did a quick Google search, and your article from 2019 came up.
Yes, I think I did.
Calaveras Lake.
I did a story about Calaveras and Bronick, how they got their names.
Yep.
So yes, Calaveras means skull. Yes. Okay. Anyway, speaking of our lakes, they are still in bad shape. We showed you the drought monitor yesterday. It was minimal improvement here around Bexar County, and we were expecting maybe a little bit more, but we reached out to the folks who put together the drought monitor, and this is what they tell us. Groundwater is still too low, aquifers are still too low, spring flow is still too low, and our lakes and reservoirs are still too low. And you look at the numbers, so we're at 639.3 when it comes to the J17 well of the Edwards Aquifer here in San Antonio. That's 22 feet below average. Uvalde well is, or Uvalde part of the aquifer is in worse shape, down 42 feet. So we had some huge improvements, right? Our aquifer came up like 15 feet. But because we were so low, this is still not a great number. And I think that's kind of the main takeaway here is, yeah, we saw some improvements in Canyon and Medina, minor ones, but we did see some improvement, but it's not anywhere near enough. And that is also the case with our spring flows. So we look at Comal Springs, which is always a good kind of telltale sign of the health of our aquifer. And yes, the flow came up. We're talking cubic feet per second here, but it's still way below average. So again, the main takeaway is that we were in just such a deficit that, sure, this rainfall was amazing and it helped a lot, but we've still got a long way to go. Rain chances next week, 20% Monday, Tuesday, 30% chance on Wednesday. So we do bring rain chances up a little bit next week. And our heat high starts to shift off to the north and east. It doesn't mean it won't be hot here, but The really hot stuff's going to be up across the East Coast. In fact, the nation's capital is going to be looking probably at some record heat. Here will be just kind of status quo, again, with some small rain chances and temperatures in the 90s, but no triple digits for us, which is fantastic. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with summer solstice because it is about to be here. So I ask you, on the summer solstice, where is the sun directly overhead at solar noon or noontime? Is it the equator, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer, or the Arctic Circle? Tropic of Cancer is leading the way with 63% of the vote. What say you?
I'm actually going to do Cancer too because I know my mom is a Cancer. She was born in June, so I'm just putting that two and two together. I'm not sure if that's going to be right though.
So my answer was thinking it's the one that's north of the equator, which is that the Tropic of Cancer. So I'll say Tropic of Cancer.
Yeah, you guys are spot on. You're exactly right. It is the Tropic of Cancer.
Hey.
And so just a quick explanation here for you. Located at 23.5 degrees north latitude, it marks the northernmost point at which the sun is directly overhead at noon. This occurs today during the summer solstice, so if you were to stand on that line, you would have no shadow. And that, by the way, the Tropic of Cancer runs through Mexico and the Bahamas, just south of the United States.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Good. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so check this out. Speaking of Justin, on GMSA Plus, he's going to be visiting the San Antonio water systems to learn more about the record that they just won nationwide. Justin, don't hurt yourself, though.
Oh, these dudes are fast.
Okay, winding down here another hour. Of course, you and RJ will return at the top of the hour for GMSA Plus.
Yep, you guys stick around. KSAT Plus, KSAT.com for free. Stream us and don't go